last time on Curse of Strahd, the party has managed to successfully infiltrate the Wizards of Wine winery that is being basically torn apart by a small army of blights. Fighting their way throughout the house, you guys managed to um, rescue Erwin Martikov, who is currently reconnecting through the outside of the house to see the situation after you guys broke a black root staff held by a seemingly prominent evil druid. You catch your breaths as you look around you and realize that the sounds of plants and trees advancing towards the house, the sound of earth being ripped apart from the outside, has gone quiet.
Okay, who's not dead?
We are here.
Mage? Norm?
Hello? Where's everyone?
We're by the cart.
Downstairs, by the wagon.
I'll peek my head over the railing. Oh, hello. I'll try not to bleed on you.
I'm going to start searching this druid while I'm here, by the way.
Alrighty. Give me 1 sec. I'll open my note for him. Do-do-do. Come on. Be nice to me. Please. I've had a hard week. Alrighty. The filthy man smells like body odor and dirt. It's very clearly that he has lived in nature and out of civilization. What he wears are not clothes, but simply rags of that seems to have been stuffed together from leaves, animal skins, and tree bark. He doesn't. Around his filthy midsection is a simple leather pouch. Inside the pouch, you find generic casting components, as well as give me an investigation check.
You got it. That's intelligence, so that's not... Is that disadvantage? I can't keep track of myself right now.
Do you have exhaustion?
Yes. So yes, okay.
Yes.
All right.
22. All right. Inside, you find, in addition to the various casting components, you find three berries. They are red with what seems to be a bluish sort of gleam to them. Something tells you that they're not just normal berries. That he wasn't just keeping them as a snack.
All right. Okay. I'm going to sit there and going to say, I'm going to check these out later, but we got some berries. And look at everybody and go, all right, let's secure this house and make sure it's safe and find Erwin. Where the hell did he go?
I'm here. You hear from outside as a flap of wings approaches the opening. You see the large humanoid raven creature land in front of you. He, even in this form, you can tell he is exhausted. and has clearly been through it. You can see tracks of dried blood across his feathers.
I look at him. I go, "How are you doing? And have you found your brothers?"
He pauses for a moment to catch his breath. My father's master bedroom. It's filled with overgrowth. But I saw in there, I could tell I could see the tip of his wing in the bed under overgrowth. I did not see my other brother.
Which floor?
Second. Northern side. The blights, all of the ones outside, they're dead. Or at least they stopped moving.
Is there a place that we could fortify and perhaps rest for a while?
I do not know where is safe. I've been kept in that room and tortured for information about the wizard's heart.
You know what their plans are.
I do not know. I think they think the heart is somewhere around here in the house, hidden. I know they want to use it for something they call a great revival. I do not know what it means exactly.
Hello, up here. I'll wave down from up above. Have you?
Crane's neck.
We ran into Davian and the young lady outside on the outskirts. Have you seen them at all?
No, I don't think my father would come here. I don't think my father would risk his own skin just to do this. You see a dark cloud pass over his face as Davian has mentioned.
I lost connection. Did he say if he spotted his brothers?
One's in the room above us.
All right, so yeah, we need to, gentlemen. We're not done here. Let's make sure we get everybody we can.
Agreed.
About me.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back.
We'll come up this side of the stairs. There's a door here.
And I'm coming up into the main door again. Climbing over the tree.
I guess there's still the pollen to contend with as well.
Is the pollen still?
Honoring
Yeah, I was gonna say.
downstairs?
No, I'm waiting for them.
Oh. You guys are what, going upstairs?
If the pollen looks like it's faded a little bit, yes.
The pollen does seem to have lost some of its coloration. Yes, it seems that
Alright.
it's still yellowish in color, but seems to have acquired more gray. You could try to give me a perception check if you want to look.
Got
closer.
it? I do.
12. You lean closer and you can see how you're really squinting your eyes, although they're tired. You can sort of see the little spores have lost their color and they look dried out. They look more like husks now.
All right. As I go, I think I'm probably the best off of us. I'll go ahead and take lead. And I kind of squirrel past Urgle there. I'm like, I don't think you're doing too great at the moment.
Varys wants to stick close. I'll go with Parmesan.
Hey,
All right.
Hold on. Is there a set of stairs downstairs that lead under my feet? There's a hallway here, and I see stairs going down. And there's.
Well, let's get his brother free, and then we can deal with that.
You guys are going to the second floor then, where Honorim is waiting then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed part of it, so if I'm making a bad call, let me know. But yeah, I want to move to the second floor.
Okay, no problem. Let me move you. What I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to start removing some of the tokens because it's looking a little bit.
A little crowded from that army you threw at us.
Let me get it. Let me get you.
It's gonna climb up onto this barrel right here.
Why wait for everybody to go up?
Blink, blink.
That's the barrel that had like a black goop on it.
Yes, you could see. You can still see the small cask. The black goop is dry by now, and you can see some spores have gathered around the top of the opening. And you can still see some crusted around the mouth of the massive barrel.
Is this the only one like it?
Give me a perception check. Nine. Your eyes are hurting, and the spores, although still dry now, are making your eyes water a bit, even in this form.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
So I'm trying to picture. So there's like a tiny cask full of
No,
black
the cask isn't tiny. It looks fairly sizable.
and it's sitting on top of this massive one.
Yeah, it's like sitting on top of this big one. This big one, yeah.
Okay. I see honor him, and I kind of wave him over as I'm looking at this barrel.
I'll walk out and I'll take a look at the pollen under my feet here.
Pollen crunches a little bit under your feet. It feels like almost stepping on sand now that it's dried out.
Yes, Fisk. What have you found?
Black barrel. Things grow. What is it?
Let's not drink it. At least not now.
I'll take a look.
You take a look inside. Go ahead and give me. You see, so the cask basically is now empty, except the black goop that's hardened on its lips and edges. Honor, give me a perception check, please. Right. Honor, you can see that there's a little bit of there's a few black drops and dried liquid, the same around here, around each of these large barrels as well. It doesn't take a genius to put two and two together and realize that someone's been adding the material from the small cask in your hand into each of these barrels.
Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out they've been Adding this stuff to all of the barrels here. I'll take a look at the black stuff.
You take a careful sniff. It smells sickly sweet and a little bit acrid. Try to roll me a nature check to try to identify the liquid. You successfully identify this liquid as sweet sap. Sweet sap is a poisonous material concocted within a species of fern that's especially, grown by druids. Sweet sap usually goes for quite a lot because after it's been dissolved into a liquid, such as wine, it is almost impossible to detect by means other than magic.
It's sweet sap.
It basically dissolves your digestive system's coating from the inside.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
I'll pass that along.
Boys. I wonder if they were planning on shipping some of this wine out.
You can bet they were.
Maybe they already have.
That's a good point. Need to send warning.
Those stones. Somebody warn Irina.
How long does sweet sap last?
How long? What do you mean, how long? Does it stay good? Does it kill? How long?
Does it, or do they need to use it immediately?
I'm not sure exactly.
If this was a business, they're going to have some type of invoices or paperwork or records here somewhere. Is there an office in here?
Let's
Yes.
why don't we help his brother? He'll know.
Let's go.
Yes.
He's
I think he's over
probably
here. Probably.
Adrian would know.
let's
I put the
let's help the
names-
living.
Yeah, I put the names of the family in there.
Thank you.
On that note, I step into the hallway on the left side.
Alrighty, the hallway here has a very strong smell of plant rot, and you peek into the rooms. You can see that where vines have started to grow all over everything. And let me pull it up. 1 second.
While you're doing that, Fisk, is that accurate that you're at critical right now? Like, do you look super fucked up?
Yeah, I'm limping and bloody and charred.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
you can see a printing press. Over here, you could see where you can see a desk and a cupboard that have been completely upturned. The cabinet has been very haphazardly searched through. It's quite obvious.
So, DM, just a side note, real quick, before that happens, I'm gonna convert 3 of my sorcery points to 2nd level spell and cast 2nd level cure wounds on Fisk.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, that's 11.
Correct.
Okay.
You can see trapped inside the printing press, is a decomposing body of what seems to be a female druid. It doesn't seem she's been dead for long, but judging by the roots growing out of her stomach, she is the point of impact, point of beginning of the vines growing everywhere. You can see the roots also spreading outside of the windows. In one of her hands is clutched a key.
Perhaps we'll mage hand that out of there.
I look at Urgle, I go, I'm a little screwed up, but let me take care of my haste icon. Let me
I use my sword to heal myself a little. I'm okay for now.
all right. I'm gonna look for any sign of like life or traps or anything in this room. And then
Sure, give me an investigation check. Also, Anrim, you said you wanted to try to get a mage hand with it. Where are you right now?
In the hall, just at
Oh, back out of
the
the
door.
There you are. Yeah, Urgle's there. All right, you summon your mage hand to get the key. It seems she has it in a bit of a death grip. I'd like you to give me a intelligence check, a caster check. So it'll be your intelligence plus your proficiency.
I'll go ahead and cast my mage hand and help him.
All right. Do so with advantage then.
Sorry, what did you want me to roll?
Intelligence check.
Oh,
At advantage.
All right. 21. A puff of spores emits from her mouth, from her dead mouth, covering the area harmlessly. The spores fall to the ground, coating the area around here. However, your mage hand does not respond to it, and you now have a key.
Key, anyone?
Actually, Erwin will follow you guys upstairs as well.
Okay.
All right. Erwin looks at the key and says, if I remember correctly, this is the key to the veranda area, but I think that's been broken already. And the fermentation vats.
There's at least 3 other rooms here.
Those used to be. Those are my family's sleeping rooms. Be careful.
Which one is your brother in?
The master one. Far end of the hall.
I'll listen to the door.
All right. Give me a perception check, please. Let's see now. Perception. You hear what sounds like a rustling. Someone is rifling through kitchen drawers. You can hear the sound of utensils being shaken about and moved aside, like someone rooting through drawers.
Turn to everybody and hold up a finger and point towards the door. Glance around to make sure everybody's ready.
I hold my hand up to Urgle to wait a moment, and I shove back past to Erwin, wherever he is. I go, Erwin, is that the only way in that room?
No. There is also an entrance from the other side if you go through the windshield.
Okay.
Oh, do you mean the master bedroom? The master
Yes.
bedroom. Well, there is a small door um, in the back of the room, but I think maybe either only Fisk and Miss Zarin could fit in. It is fairly small.
We can go.
I go hold Fisk for a moment, and let me make sure I have a slot. I do. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him. Give him a little more, and
You both enter at the same time.
yeah, I say, Fisk, roar when you're ready, and we'll bust in from 2 directions. And then I scooch on past. I see there's a stairway going down here.
There is, yes. There is a stairway going down. It's a very, very narrow one, but you think you could manage it.
Well, not yet, but
Yeah.
all right.
So there's
What
a
direction
doorway
was it?
and there's a stairway.
All right. I'm not going down the stairs. I'm just moving so I can kind of get out of Urgel's way.
Mhm.
So, all right. So I'm like at the very
Direction
top.
is this other small door. I'm gonna make my way towards that.
Ah, okay. Erwin, I will lead you, and Erwin will lead Fisk towards the.
All right. I very, very quietly put away my rapier, and I cast Shadow Blade.
Ooh.
Almost took that spell.
Let me go ahead and pop that.
Erwin points at the wall, and now that he directs your attention to it, you can see that there is indeed a seam in the wall that can be pulled open. It seems that, judging by the wine stains around it, it seems that this used to be a bit of a secret entrance for the head of the winery to get out and have a little sneaky drink whenever he wished to. Although now you see around the entrance, like under and around the small entryway, blocked with, you can see vines, small, thin vines around it, kind of growing from underneath and around.
They look like they're dying, like the rest of the.
Unfortunately, no.
Shit. I'm gonna take one of my claws and I'm gonna just cut one of them. Watch the reaction.
Okay. It falls to the ground. What's your passive perception there, Fisk and Zorin?
15.
Not great.
15. You can see, but like on the small vine that you just cut, like you can see that there's buds, kind of in the process of being turned into thorns.
I look to Zareen. This way may not be safe. What's behind the door? Turn to Erwin.
The master bedroom. My father's bedroom and office. It is where I've seen. It's overgrown inside. I couldn't really see much. The floor, the furniture is covered with thorns, but underneath them, I saw a black wing poking out.
We could always simply talk to him, see if he will come out.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just grab the corner. Is there like a handle, or is it just like put your fingers push on it.
Yeah, like there's a little handle like that you kind of insert your hand into.
I'm just gonna gently pull on the door.
All right.
I'm just gonna crack it. I'm not gonna open it.
Okay. You gently pull on the door. You can see a little bit into the master bedroom. Old but very well made oaken furniture. The proud black brown of it, defiled by um, thorny plants, overgrown over every inch of the room almost.
Do I hear the rustling and the shuffling going on back there now?
You can hear pained breathing. You do not hear that sound. This is a different room from that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Tarmogen was asking, is there a... So this room leads into the room they're trying to get into?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like 2 rooms, I guess.
Yes.
Oh.
Erwin points to a door over here. Over here is a side corridor through which we can get into the kitchen and then into the master bedroom as well.
Oh.
But the master bedroom itself only has 2 entrances, this and the one from the kitchen.
And do we know, out of character, do we know who this person is?
Who?
We know Irwin.
Yeah, you
the
know
man
Erwin.
talking. We know Irwin from the Blue Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the male from the Blue Water.
No.
The husband.
The person who's in there with the heavy breathing, rustling papers.
His brother.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Right. And he's in the master bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I was glitching in and out for a second. Can I open this door and just walk to the door of the master bedroom?
Yeah, you can open the door. Let me get it for you.
I look at Fisk. Wait here, Mr. Fisk.
You open the door to a nondescript corridor. You can see a wine spillage.
How is it, new or old?
Give me a perception check.
14.
This wine has been spilled some time ago. It has had time to darken the wood of the floor into an ugly shade of brown.
If I listen to the door, can I still hear heavy breathing?
Now you don't hear the heavy breathing that they were hearing. You hear what sounds to be like someone rifling through kitchen drawer. You can hear, you even, as you're listening, you even hear a plate shatter as it falls to the ground uncaringly.
Can I crack the door and see in there?
Are you trying? Okay, so
I'm gonna try to be stealthy. Like, I want to see if I can open the door without them noticing.
Okay. You can see, it's a bit hard to see, but you can see something vaguely brown and hunchbacked rifling through the kitchen drawers and cabinets. You can see utensils all over the ground around it.
Okay, I'm gonna put on my, from my backstory, my innocent youngest daughter, little sister face, and just poke my head in and say, "Excuse me, sir," and see what he does.
Okay, Zorin. You say that, and then you see a creature the creature turns towards you. You see it is not really a person. It is distinct from the creatures you guys have been fighting up until now. This one seems to be... Pardon me. This one seems to be completely plant-like in appearance and does not seem to have been made out of any human remains whatsoever. You could try to roll me Arcana. Right. The moment of surprise passes. The creature opens its mouth and screeches incredibly loudly. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Zareen, and then an initiative from everybody, please.
Oh boy. That looks about right.
Aw.
Just saving my good rolls for more important things.
Nice job, Barris.
Well, you guys don't hear Fisk roar, but you hear something.
Yeah.
It sounds like and like it almost disappears into the unheard range.
One more time, DM. What does that sound like now?
Let me see. Okay. His,
Oh, I
thing
didn't
is
click my.
opening for me, so I'm just going to roll it manually. That's going to be 11.
What did Zareen get? Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Get the hell out of there.
Sorry, Ben, it sounded like you were asking a question.
No, I said I rolled a 19. I just forgot to click my character.
Oh,
I'm on it.
It should. Oh, it just didn't. All right.
19. There we go. And with that, we're going to start the initiative. Varys, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, there's a door in front. I can't see in front of Urgel and Tarmagen. I'm assuming there's a door right to them. Is that correct?
yeah,
There's
it's
a door right
in front of
above.
me.
Yes. There's a door above you. There's a door
Okay.
a little bit after that, and there's the door that they're standing next to.
Okay. So can I get around my teammates, or is this too tight?
You could pass through them. It just takes a little bit of extra movement. So, like passing through Urgel's space and opening the door, you have exactly enough movement for that.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna shout out to Urgel and say that doesn't sound good, does it?
Nope.
All right, and I'm gonna say, give me some space, and I'm gonna stand right where Urgel is. Is the door open, or do I need to open it?
Oh, well, you need to open it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kick it open.
Okay, the door is open.
Okay.
You can see the creature from before. It looks like almost like a child made of wood with a head of hair. It has a massive hole in its face, like a screaming mouth.
Okay. I'm going to with my hands, I'm going to get a ball of fire and shoot a chromatic orb right down its throat, hopefully.
Okie dokie. Go ahead. "13. Unfortunately, the chromatic orb shoots above its head, slamming into the cabinets, and plates fall down, exploding into glass shards everywhere. I'm gonna have him roll a dexterity saving throw. I'll say he'll take 6 slashing damage from the glass.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna move 5 feet away. I'm gonna say, "Your turn, big guy," and end my turn.
Alrighty. Zareen. You managed to, like, the creature. You managed to slap your hands on your ears just in time to protect yourself from the worst of the creature's shriek.
Okay, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, which is a racial ability, on this guy.
All right. He is now wreathed in purple flames, and you are now concentrating on a spell.
Did he fail his check?
Oh, right. I always forget that Fairy Fire has dexterity saving throw associated with it.
DC 15.
Yes, he did fail his check. He rolled the 3.
Fairy Fire would be way OP if it didn't have that check.
Yeah, for real.
So he's
No
wreathed
kidding.
in purple flames, and I'm gonna back up a couple of steps and say, "Gentlemen, help!" And back 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and look at Fisk and point to the door.
Nice.
And that'll end my turn.
Fisk.
Seeing her point to the door, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 35, 40. Get up to there. I'm going to see this thing. And I'm going to I just heard a screech.
You did.
I know that didn't come from Zareen. This thing is looking for something. I'm going to hold my action. If it attacks me or somebody else, I'm going to attack it. But I'm just going to come into the room, kind of skid to a halt, and just slowly make myself smaller and put my hands up a little bit. And I'm going to say out loud, wait. And that's it. It's my turn.
Okay. Honor him.
You're all blocking the way. I can't see. And I turn around and I'm going to dash. 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm making my way around, and that's it.
Right.
Okay, where is Honor him? I cannot see him.
Down
Is
the
he under
balcony,
somebody?
maybe?
No, I'm gone back into the balcony. I'm moving to the other side.
Ah, gotcha. Alrighty. With that, creature opens its mouth and shrieks once more. Fisk, Orgal, Ptarmigan, and Varys, I'd like all 4 of you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
It's not a disadvantage.
Oh, thank you. But still, yes.
Yeah, so that's 14, that's a 1, and that's a 14. So that's 14,
Wow.
1, 14,
What's
14.
with the 14?
No, the 14. It's 14 for me. I'm not at disadvantage. I just rolled with it.
Well, the thing is because
The
we
furthest
usually
from
take the
within.
left. Yeah, it's the first ones. That's still a 3, I'm afraid.
Ah, gotcha.
Sucks. But yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. All righty. Let me see. You guys all take 4d10 thunder damage,
Jesus.
and
Is that an AOE?
it is an AOE. And Fisk, I'm afraid that you are stunned.
No, I'm just out.
I have a resistance, luckily.
All right, Orgal, you take. That case, you take 10 thunder damage.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Oh.
I passed it, so I do evasion, so I take nothing.
Okay, you take nothing.
Whew.
Alrighty.
What was the what? So 14 fails and not 14 takes 21 damage. Is that what you're saying?
14 fails. DC was 15, I'm afraid.
Okay.
And when you fail by more than 5, you are also stunned.
Oh, I'm down. Varys falls to the ground.
All right. Okay, it's his turn, and Ptarmigan.
Didn't. Oh. Out of spell slots.
See me taking way too long to pull out my Black and Maul. Stuck in the scabbard / holster.
So that's 15, 20. I'm getting in here up close. And I'm going to hit him with Shadow Blade with Booming Blade on it.
Go for it.
I'll make sure I got the right one. Boom.
That hits, and that hits. That's fire, yeah. Alrighty. He does not like the fire at all, so that's going to be 9. That's 14. Okay. A strange mewling sound escapes from it as you strike it hard with your shadow blade.
All right. Instead of movement, I'm actually going to kind of turn and kind of hold the blade behind me and hold my hand up. And I go, stop. And I'm not going to back away. I'm just going to stay there.
All right. Thank you, Ptarmigan. Give me an intimidation check.
And that is disadvantage.
Okay, thank you, Ptarmigan. Urgal.
I don't think we're really in any shape to be negotiating, so I'm charging in here. Blood Rage, Black and Maul.
Alrighty.
Ooh. That's the 2 from the Blood Rage.
Alright,
think.
that's a 9, that's a 23, that's a
So-
12.
These-
Oh, Ben, did I say something?
Nope, sorry. These are all at advantage because of Fairy Fire. Any attack roll gets advantage.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
so I'll count that as one attack, and we'll call it a 12. Alright,
Alright.
smash, crack. Massive cracks appear in the wood of its body. The strange mewling sound escapes from it. Although its mouth is still, massive.
So if that was an advantage, wouldn't Ptarmigan...
Yeah, that's the first roll.
The thing is, Ptarmigan is also poisoned, which gives him disadvantage on attack rolls.
So straight
It
roll.
basically cancels out.
Copy that.
So then is the 9 the first roll and the 23 is the advantage roll?
That's right. So
Okay.
Urgal has a second attack.
And yeah, I'll bring it down on him. I'm trying to silence this thing.
26. You bury your blackened mole in this thing's mouth, shutting it up forever. And you can see it shrivel down, shrivel down into almost the size of a doll. And that's the combat.
So would I have heard it? Knowing that it's over, can I sneak in and see what's going on?
Stupid me! I forgot Fisk and Varys are down. Zareen, you approach and you see you guys all can see that Fisk and Varys are down.
Okay.
Varys is down?
Yeah,
Oh.
both Fisk and Varys are down.
Yeah.
Can I cast a 4th level Cure Wounds on Fisk because he's the first one I came to?
Yes.
Shit.
It's the only spell slot I got left.
I got no heals.
Wow.
Ptarmigan.
Let me look. I'm out of slots.
Can I attempt to stabilize him?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Medicine check.
Tw-
Alright,
21 to you, Fisk.
None.
Trying to
Okay.
move fast here.
Is
And
Fisk
before, well, while everyone's running around, I was going to go over and try to help with Varus and cast guidance on whoever was doing that. But
Yeah.
Honorim and Ogal, between the two of you, you guys managed to stabilize Varus.
all right? I pull out the last one I have. I pull out a regular healing potion. I hand it. I said, "Give this to him." Or Fisk is up, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Fisk
So
is up.
yeah, I said, "Give this to Varus."
Maybe.
So,
Thank you again.
Place was deadly.
you're welcome, sir.
God, I healed myself. That was about to be bad.
We could use some healing if anyone has anything. We have nothing for Varus.
I think
Someone
we need to
just-
help whoever's in that room and rest.
Didn't
Agreed.
someone just give a healing potion? Varus is up, right?
Yeah, I gave a regular healing potion, and oh, actually, I have one more medium healing that I didn't realize. So I'm gonna. How's Varus doing now? Did we roll for that? For the regular healing potion?
Sorry,
I
I'm
haven't
mute.
really old foot yet, no.
Yeah, what do I need to roll there?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how he's doing.
I'm just gonna collapse against the wall, sitting on the floor.
Ah,
We need to rest.
Uh,
all right.
I walk over to Fisk and I hand him the medium healing potion, which completely taps me. And I'm like,
Get back.
"You're not done yet, unfortunately." Whoops.
I push it
think
back into his hands. Save it.
And DM, I think I deleted my own token.
I don't know how you did that.
Neither do I.
Let me fix that for you.
Push it back into his hand and he disappears. What did I do?
Fine, I'm out of here.
He escaped Barovia! Ah!
You ungrateful bastard.
That's the key to getting out. Contempt.
Here you are, Tom.
There we go. All right. And
Varus would like to. First of all, he looks at the group and says, "I'm getting sick. I'm getting tired of this.
I,
You getting knocked out." And then you said that the creature went to the size of a doll, or is it just?
Yes.
All right. Can I
Guys,
pick
you
it
guys
up?
can see. Yeah, you can pick it up.
Is there anything? Do I notice anything about it, or is it just?
It looks like a small, shrunken doll version of itself.
Okay.
all right, there we go.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. It seems just really strange that this thing is a.
I'll post a picture of it in the question.
Let me take a look. Perhaps I can recognize it from my studies.
Can you take a look at this? What is this?
Sounded like he was looking for
Right.
something.
There must be something in here.
Yeah.
Erwin,
Hmm.
we go to the other room.
That is the master bedroom right there, Mr. Ptarmigan. He points at the door next to you, Ptarmigan.
The
Is it
one right
locked?
next to me.
The one right next to
I'm
you.
gonna. All right. I'm gonna listen. I still hear the heavy breathing at the door through the door. I'm assuming. you
You
want me
can
to,
still hear. Yeah, you
roll?
can still hear it.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
it's pained breathing, definitely.
I go around to the other side.
Yeah,
and
best
open the
shape.
door all the
Support
way
me
up.
best you can.
Break
I
it
go around to
down.
the other side and open the door all the way up.
Alrighty, are you opening the door too, Ptarmigan?
Yes, I am. This time.
So nobody move until I finish
No worries.
describing things. So, looking into the room, you guys can see that the formerly comfortable but somewhat grandiose master bedroom has been completely overgrown with thorns, almost knee deep in thorns. From from the bed, you can see a form almost completely covered in thorns. Over, you can see under the tight um, grab, you can see um, a feathered wing poking out as well, and you can hear that the source of the pain breathing is coming from there.
I immediately hold my hand up to hold Fisk from coming in.
I just pull my spear out and get it ready.
I fire at any time.
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of that sentence. I just heard fire.
I turn to honor him and I say, "Can you control fire at any time, like in the bar?"
Maybe, yes, of course.
So let's try fire first. And I say, "Here, get in here. Snuggle up next to me. Urgle, step back for a minute." And I'm going to kind of get like right there so that we both can see in the door. And I'm going to prestidigitate anything into a little flame. And see if you can direct this into those vines.
What are you directing into the vines?
Fire.
Some open
My
fire.
brother, he's under the vines. You'd burn him.
That's why we control it. Look to honor him and I go, "It's all yours."
I'll cast control flames on the little flame and I'll slowly move it into the room. If at any point it seems like it's going to start to get out of hand, I'm going to immediately snuff it out.
Alrighty. I'd like you to roll me. So, Anna, this is a task that takes a lot of focus. Usually, control flames has you, controlling the flames in a much more simple way. What you're trying to do is guide the flame exactly along each vine in such a way that it does not start a fire. Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay. In that case, Anrim, I'm going to need you to roll me an intelligence check, please. And I'm seeing Zareen is giving you guidance. Okay, 26. Very
Chicken
nice.
and Mage Man, nice.
Anrim, you manage to. It takes about an hour and a half.
Whew.
During which, if you guys want to do kind of a short rest, everybody except for Anrim can take a short rest.
Okay.
Since he's the one concentrating. As slowly but surely, he clears the room of vines. You guys can see the scratched up, slashed up form of a were-raven. Wounds very slowly healing. As with some burns on him, a little bit, nothing too serious on him. You managed to avoid the worst of it from hurting him. Erwin immediately rushes into the room, check on his brother.
And I'll collapse on the floor in a heap of exhaustion and blood.
I am afraid, Honorim, that you take a level of exhaustion from this performance. However, you managed to avoid setting fire to both the were-raven and the winery. And Honorim, I'd like you to take a point of inspiration as well.
Nice.
Zareen looks down at Norm and says, I've been using magic since I could walk, but it seems I have a lot to learn about control. That is quite impressive, mage.
I look at him and go, I knew you could do it. Thank you.
Mr. Fisk, you can come in now.
Adrian. Adrian!
Whoops.
Elwin is slapping the were raven. He thrashes for a moment before waking up. Elwin, what the hell are you doing here? Who are these people? Friends, they saved me and they saved you now. The large corvid moves his face, looking between each of you. Then you have my thanks. I thought I was going to die here, choked by thorns.
Well, we nearly died getting in here, but I'm glad we could help.
Are we safe? Is this done?
I believe so. We simply need to find the heart. Have you seen it?
The heart. No, and I told them too. I don't know where it is.
It's
Fuck,
okay.
our ancestors know. Our ancestor hid it somewhere. It's somewhere in the grounds. I don't know where it damn well is.
The problem is that we need to sleep. We were nearly killed coming in, but we also need to find the heart. Perhaps... Gentlemen, could you join me?
Where is Elvir? Did you find Elvir too? Erwin takes him by the shoulders. You brought Elvir with you? Maybe he already escaped. Erwin looks to you guys.
Where'd you last see him?
He was captured along with me.
This is the, forgive me, I'm struggling here. That's the one who flew away, correct?
No,
No.
Elvir. There was a mention of two brothers.
That's why I was asking. I just didn't
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
name written down.
Yeah, we haven't met him yet. I sit there and I go,
Oh.
well, the only place
Can
left is
anybody
the
else-
basement, I think.
The basement.
Can anyone
that?
else not see Irwin's token?
No,
I
I got
just see the one in the bed. I haven't seen Irwin's token this whole time.
Really? It's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't see him?
invisible for me. It's
Well,
weird.
that's weird.
I'll
That was on the
refresh it. I've just ignored it till now because, like, you were describing things well enough. It didn't matter. But I was just curious.
Oh, that's strange. Your token? Yeah, that's strange. Roll 20.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
You saw what it did to me. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight with Roll20.
Oh, yeah.
So when he asks about his brother, I'm gonna look down at him and say, "There's a good chance he may have
There I am.
escaped. We have not seen him yet."
Oh, now I can
Um,
see him.
I go, he wasn't with your sister, so I don't think so.
It's got to be around here somewhere.
Oh,
You're-
my gods.
I said, your sister and your father were on the road trying to figure out what to do. We found them and then came here. Your other brother was not with them, so I can only assume in one of these rooms or in the basement.
Killed most of the druids in the main building, but we don't know what lies beneath. Also, we're quite hurt.
Why didn't they just kill you? If I may
They-
be bold.
They wanted information on the location of the wizard's heart. They thought that we knew where it was. Also, being were-raven, it is not easy to kill us. They did not have any silver. wasn't for lack of trying.
I look at Erwin. I look at his brother, and I go, "We've been through much. We need to rest. Do you think he could wait for us to recover a little bit? If not, we'll go now." And
If you need to rest, then rest. But I don't want to risk my brother being harmed anymore. I'm going to search for him in the basement.
wait, let me come with, or Zareen. We're both of us are good at sneaking. At least let us come with you and find out what's up. Yes, let's look and then decide.
We will go with him.
All right. Be careful.
What's the quietest, least expected way into the basement?
Let me think. The basement has at least 4 entrances.
Wow.
There are 2 from the spiral staircases, 1 from the glass blowing shop, and 1 from the small spiral staircase. It is a hidden entrance. It doesn't really lead into the basement itself, but it leads into an expansion in there.
I say, okay, I know what we're going to do. It will take a few minutes. And I sit down, I pull out my brazier, load it with the charcoal and some incense. And I said, it is time for Parvis to make his return in yet another form. And I sit down and I cast Find Familiar, calling to Parvis. Huh?
Does that take 10 minutes or an hour? Do you?
It takes, I believe, an hour.
Okay. All right. As you guys are waiting for, Tomagen to summon him, you now have a chance to roll hit die if you wish to do so.
And I tell everybody, clear the top floor, check everything while I do this. I kind of tell people to do that.
Owen sits on the bed next to his brother as they discuss quietly in Barovia. Ferris, sorry, did you ask me something?
I was going to, while we're waiting for Parmesan, I was going to go over to honor him and show him the little tree doll that I picked up and say, what do you think about this?
Sorry, Fisk, are you trying to go down there, Fisk?
No,
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah.
just walking around the floor, wearing it.
I'll take a look at the little wooden man.
I'm probably gonna open doors eventually, but I'm waiting.
Yeah, go ahead. In the meantime, go ahead and give me an Arcana check there, honor him. "18. Honor him, you recognize this as a shriveled mandrake. The shriveled mandrake will obey the commands of those who give it water. What you do is you give it water, and over the course of an hour, it will become a full mandrake. Once it's done going, it will follow any simple command you give it, such as search, guard, hide, go there, go here, stay. It is not capable of communicating. It can be used to concoct a very powerful anti-poison or very powerful ingredient in healing some magical diseases as well, and can be chopped up into health potions and left them overnight to stew to increase their potency.
Okay, so I'll just assuming Honor and just told me all of that. I'll say Varys will look at him and say, "Or can I make it scream on command at somebody else, like it screamed at me?"
Probably if you commanded to guard something.
All right, I'm gonna look at it, kind of toss it up a couple times, throw it in my backpack.
Hmm.
Nice.
Do that and I'll smoke.
Over here, Orgal, you see what seems to be an old child's room. That's an old children's room. There's dust on everything. You can see toys and some chests on the floor, carpet, some books.
Right on.
Fisk
Yeah.
over here. Oh, never mind. Yeah,
I'm
Fisk.
actually headed. I'm headed somewhere.
I gotcha.
I'm gonna go over to this window.
Mhm.
There's a roof there. Like I can see the top of a roof.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Okay. I'm gonna open the window, climb
Okay.
out.
Open the window and climb out. The cold winter breeze hits your face and makes you stiffen for a moment. You look outside and you can see the now shriveling remains of the massive tree blights that were digging up the place, except for the largest one that you saw upon entry, the one that seemed to be supervising the others. That one is that one seems to be still. That one seems to be still up and seems to be moving along the other ones, investigating them.
So there's one larger tree that's still up and moving,
Yes,
and it's looking at the others that have stopped moving.
yes, it seems to be trying to get them to stand back up.
I'm gonna climb up to the very top, to the roof itself of the building, get as high as I can, and I want to do like a panoramic sweep of the winery.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Is there anything in particular you're looking for details on?
I am looking for movement at the blade where the were-ravens said they were hiding.
You
So-
strain your eyes, but unfortunately the glade is a little bit too far away and the fog too thick to see through.
Okay. I figured, but just anything moving towards us from that direction is kind of what I was going for.
Hmm.
And going around,
Yeah.
clocking any more of those trees that are still up, if that's
No.
the only one.
That's the only one that you can see is that one that's larger than. And the reason you can see him through the mist is because it's so damn big.
Right. And how much of the winery is like, I want to get a much better sense because we kind of came in pretty quick. I want to get a really good sense of how much the winery is actually dug up.
Let
And what's
me think for a moment. Let me look at the big map of Barovia. Conservative estimates would put it at around 40%. Seeing as the winery provides so much of Barovia with wines, it makes sense that it would have quite a lot of grounds. Though unfortunately, a lot of these grounds have now been dug up.
So, with the whole time of while Fisk is out there scouting, as Norm was using the flames and Ptarmigan's casting his spell, it's been nearly 3.5 hours, 3 hours that we've been sitting up here. Zareen wants to turn and look to the group. If anything was going to happen, it would have happened by now. We really should rest.
Yeah, before whatever else is around here comes for us.
If it was going to happen soon, I feel that it would have happened already.
Erwin and
Either way, we're not going to
Erwin and
survive
his
a fight
brother
with it if we don't.
exchange looks.
Can I respond while I'm doing this? Can I respond while I'm doing my spell, or am I out of it?
I think you're kind of out. What is the spell? do?
Yeah, it's a 1 hour ritual spell, but I don't know really the rules on that.
I'd say it's ritual. Unfortunately, like you kind of have to focus on the
No worries.
ritual.
Okay, cool. No worries. That's why I was checking. I want to barge in on it.
Erwin and his brother look between each other. Erwin crosses his arms and says, "If you need to rest, rest. Adrian and I will try to get over ourselves. You've already done more than enough for us. We are forever grateful to you. But we can't let our brother. We've already waited for long enough. We can't let our brother suffer more than he already has."
If you insist, I'll do what I can to back you up.
What about so if it's been 4, can we wait? Ferris,
It's only been.
wait.
It's only been
Go ahead.
2. while
It's been
we're waiting.
2. Yeah, it's been 2.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel much better now. I can help you.
I could stand one more fight at least. As long as there's not an entire army coming after us again.
I think whatever you've done has gotten rid of their army. Whew. Erwin
So,
looks around him. Erwin goes into the kitchen and retrieves a couple of large butcher knives for himself, while Adrian seems to, while Adrian seems to favor the claws granted to him by his Ravenfall.
either of you like to borrow a weapon?
Don't worry about me. I know my way around these quite well. But thank you, my friend.
At this point, Fisk comes back into the room.
There's
Erwin nods.
there's still one tree moving. Just looking for the others.
I'm just gonna shrink everybody so you guys can at least see the room.
What?
And it's looking at the other tree. Trying to move them. Just the one.
Perhaps. Maybe it's not very smart.
Not smart. But larger than all the other.
Erwin, this mandrake was attempting to find something in the other room. Any idea what it may have been searching for?
I'm assuming it's the same thing they've questioned me and my brothers about, the wizard's heart. We don't know where it is. I doubt even my father knows. We know that our ancestor buried it on the grounds when he first established the winery, but that's all we know. We've
So
had
that's why they're tearing up the earth.
Indeed, we've had druids like these harass us over the years, but never with such a force and never with such ferocity. They've usually been a nuisance that our hired guards were usually enough to handle. This is completely different from everything until now.
They have also poisoned
Changed.
the swines.
They've poisoned the wines. Those bastards.
Yes, they used whatever it is they used. That's it. Sweet stuff. Thank you.
Sweet step.
I'm tired.
That means that there's not going to be, with all the damage they've done, and with us needing to rehire help, and having to clean this place up, and replace all the barrels and equipment, there's not going to be much alcohol in Barovia for at least a month or so, even more.
What's
That's
of greater
assuming all
concern?
alcohol are alive.
Do you think they've been shipping it out? How is it normally delivered?
You see Erwin grows very pale. No, they couldn't have. I hope. I don't think, at least. The cat was still there.
How long ago did this takeover take place?
It looks to Adrian, who shakes his head. A week. At least, I think a week at least. And Erwin, you've been away from here too long. We bought more carts in your absence, he says bitterly. They've sent out at least 3 shipments. Though I don't know where. Man,
We need to contact Irina at once.
What
Erwin's-
3 places?
Let's see. Usually we supply Kresk, we supply Little Barovia, we supply Valaki, we supply the Vestani, werewolves as well. They leave us alone because of that. Dradvult,
Everywhere. Entire country.
These
We're
3
responsible for
shipments.
most of it, yes.
These 3. Where did they go?
I do not know. I was already captured when that happens. I can only guess that that's the case because 3 of the carts are missing.
When did they leave?
I do not know. I'm sorry. Like I said, they were already missing when I got here.
Let's find your brother, and then we should worry about damage control.
Perhaps my father would have seen when, since he's been watching from the glade.
Surely he would have told somebody, right?
Maybe he wouldn't have known. We've usually assumed they just wanted the wizard's heart and the wine for themselves. We never would have suspected that they would poison the wine as well. Everyone in Barovia needs wine, no matter who you are. Poisoning it. These people have no hearts, no families, no loved ones. Crazy bastards.
They seek to blight the very land itself.
Erwin turns to the desk and clears some of the ashes of the vines from it. Maybe they would have put it in the ledger. Oh, you guys see Adrian on the table is a massive, massive book. You can see that this thing is ancient and extremely thick. Erwin looks for the most current page, and Tisks is in frustration when he doesn't seem to find what he wishes to. The last shipment here, it says here, has been to Little Barovia, but that was more than a week ago. And nods. Yes, I was on that shipment.
Makes sense. They wouldn't mark where they sent it.
Shit.
Surely, if we just pass the word out, it'll quickly spread itself.
We'll have to fly. We'll have to do it fast to each city. Adrian, there's no time to lose. Go, tell father. Have him and Stefania fly. Have Dag too. There's no time to waste.
We will find their brother, like we found them.
The large corvid looks between his older brother and to you, Fisk. May the Night Mother always have you in her embrace. Good luck, Erwin. The two brothers share a hug as Adrian opens the window, turning into a smaller raven form, and flies out. And with that, we're going to take a break here, gentlemen. Let me see. We're having discussion of gnomes, I was hearing.
Like it just being like the perfect class for artificer in general, and Honorim was playing a gnome artificer in our little one shot.
See, I'm a bit of a shitter, because I love using gnomes and halflings for like barbarians and stuff. My friend is starting a new campaign world, and he's gonna let me play a Blood Rager gnome with Seal Lycanthropy.
Nice.
Oh
Like he turns into a fucking seal man, and just charged at you, spewing cold from every orifice.
Does he take bonus damage from wooden clubs?
Oh no!
Shillelagh.
Uh,
Table leg.
It's double funny because I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Woo. That took a
Alrighty.
dark turn quickly.
Sorry.
I love it.
Alrighty.
Oh,
So
God damn, it's cold.
It really is.
it very much is. So, the party. What would the party like to do? Currently, the only unexplored region left is maybe a couple of rooms on the first floor and the basement itself.
All right, I'm.
Save this
Am I
brother.
completed my ritual now?
Yes, you completed your ritual, and you
Calling
complete
in
your
Harvest as a spider of the Fey variety.
All right. Okay, spider.
Spider.
Materializes. Spider. Little Liniatus.
All right. There we go.
And I'll give you his vision And there we go.
Ready. Let's see. I'm gonna trance out, or actually, I'm gonna call to Irwin. Irwin, sir. I kind of hold the spider up. I say,
Yes.
can you take my friend to the least obvious entrance to the basement?
Or we kind of like pokes his head out from here because he's too big to pass comfortably. Like he's too rotund to pass through this. But then he kind of transforms into a small raven, and then hops through and then untransforms.
And I said, this is my friend Parvis. I think you remember him as an owl. Can you take him to the entrance to a basement? And I'll see what I can see with him.
Certainly, I can. Let me see. I can take him to the bottom of the spiral staircase.
All right. And yeah, I'm gonna let Parvis hit a ride.
Alrighty, Owen goes down. Okay, as Owen puts holds Parvis in his hand as respectfully as possible, he takes him down a spiral staircase. However, when he gets to the ground floor, and there is a mess of vines blocking the way. However, not for a spider. Owen puts Parvis down. And Parvis, I'm going to move you to
Ready?
lower section of the basement.
Okay. And very quietly and spider-like, Parvis is just gonna creep up on this wall down here.
You can see this creature. It looks like a man made out of wood. This one is different. It seems to have been a corpse at some kind that had wood growing around it. Its teeth are exposed in a cruel smile, and it seems that from the bark around its limbs, oddly sharp-looking weapons have been materialized.
All
You
right.
can hear muttering, and you can hear an arcane sort of muttering emerging from the northwestern corner of the room as
All right.
well.
Parvis is going to climb up onto the ceiling of the room so we can get a look down. And he's going to continue scuttling along.
Yeah.
And I would let's see. All right. And I'm starting to see a figure up there in the corner.
You can see another druid. He's seemingly carrying out a ritual of some sort.
All right. I can't see past this wine rack. Does it go to the ceiling, or is that just kind of the way the walls are in here?
It does go to the ceiling, but it also kind of the way the walls are.
Okay, no worries.
You can move
Alright.
over here to see
Okay.
through, and you can see that he's constructing another one of these wooden warrior corpse things.
I'm just going to go far enough to peek up and look. There we go. So I don't see any Raven guy in here.
Not in this corner, no. However, you do see that there is another portion
Right.
to the basement over there.
Okay, so I know what's there now. All right.
Right. I would now
Creep
like to
along.
ask for a stealth check from your spider with advantage.
Absolutely. Let me get my.
DC would be quite a bit lower since you are a teeny tiny spider. However, you already see a room where the ground is covered with thorns.
Alrighty. Let me just. I'll just roll a 20. I'm not sure what it would be for a spider.
Yeah, I'll check it for you.
No problem.
And
Never mind. Never mind.
+4. So,
okay.
Wow.
well, I did say with advantage. So
Oh, okay. All right. Let me try again.
19. That's significantly better. +4. That's 23. All right. You see some of the vines on the floor twitch for a moment as you enter the room on the ceiling. However, nothing. Like you kind of freeze, but then counting about 10 seconds, nothing else happens.
All right. I just creep one little space. What do I see?
You see a were-raven, thorns and vines piercing into his body. You can see that his physical. Goddamn. You see his biology is trying to heal itself, but the vines are seemingly sucking nutrition right out of him. He's struggling in vain, weakly. You can also see something massive and plant-like, crouching like a massive, ugly toad in the western corner of the room.
Okay. Well, I get a good look at this. And the vines go all the way to this stairs. All right. Parvis is gonna very quietly make his retreat. And once he gets back to the top of the stairs, I'm going to tell him to just come back and break my trance.
Okay. I'll bring it back.
And, all right. And I say, well, this is not going to be easy. There is another druid, 2 of those wood-headed monstrosities, another big tree vine monster, vines on the ground.
This one
There's
actually
a
looked
lot.
different from the other one. It looked like a distinct monster that you haven't seen before.
Oh, some other monster that we haven't seen. It wasn't like that one mound that we saw on the first floor.
It did seem to be plant-like in nature, but it seemed to be more sessile.
So there's some other creature in there that we just don't even know what it is. There's vines on the ground. We can go in through the one stairway, but we'll have resistance immediately. The brother, I described the condition of the brother and what was happening to him.
Yeah, you see
Gotta move.
Erwin's face goes pale to hear what the horrific thing he's undergoing.
It's gonna
He's
die. if we
alive
don't
for
get
now,
down
but I
there.
don't think. I don't think we could take what's down there. Not as we are now.
What if we set up an ambush and lure one of them out?
Yeah.
No, they'll expect something like that.
I'll go. If Elvir is down there, I'm going to save him. I don't know that he can survive what they're doing to him.
Rush in. Let's make a plan then.
Let us make a plan. I am at your disposal.
What are we going to do? How are we going to manage this?
Multiple entrances.
But every entrance is going to be blocked, so we would need to unblock all of them at the same time.
Was the brother all the way, like, the vines on the floor? Were they completely on the entire floor where there's no way in? Even
There's no way to get to him without crossing the vines, and he's right next to this ginormous creature. And to get to that, we have to go past the druid and at least one, maybe two of those wooden-headed guys. And they're
The one
ugly
that
looking.
screeched at us.
No, when we first fought outside, we
The
killed
big
it from a
dude.
distance. Yeah, we killed it from a distance. We don't know what it can do.
Oh. Okay, I remember. Didn't he chase us into the house?
It was one of them.
He was relentless. It was very hard to take down.
Spellcaster.
He also had a lot of weapons growing out of him, kind of. I think this one is particularly difficult.
Tarminton's just planning, smoking in front of everybody the whole time.
Well, it might be a good place for greater invisibility to come in useful for someone. There we go.
Yeah.
Because
Be a
they
very
can't
good
see me
idea.
doesn't mean they won't be able to hear me.
And the second he steps on those vines, they're going to do something. I don't know what, but something.
They seem to be, to you, simply more thorny in nature. Dangerous, but
Wow, Roll20 is flipping the hell out.
yeah, something's up with it tonight.
Okay. Uh.
Well, I've only half my spell slots, but I'm feeling fine other than that. No more healing available to me.
I'm useless when it comes to magic right now.
Me too.
I'm ready to
My
go, but
injuries have had enough time to heal. If you wish me to, I could distract them. I could lead the front of the attack. While they try to lay into me, I don't think they have silver. Otherwise, they would have used it on me by now. We try to distract them and make as much noise as possible, and while you take care of the big thing and rescue my brother.
Okay. It's a big, long room. You see if you can draw them up the spiral stairs where you sent Parvis down.
Okay.
The druid. Now hold on. Let's not rush. Let's make sure we know this. Urgle. We need somebody to get the attention of that big monstrosity. Fisk, you're fast. As soon as Erwin draws the others out, go in somewhere and try and grab the big thing's attention. Then Urgle and I can go in and try and get Erwin, or to get the brother free. If we can get enough space. Does that
about
seem reasonable?
What about the vines? Are they coming out with them?
it sounds like it'll affect our ability to walk.
Might make it more difficult to traverse.
The ceiling was clear.
The ceiling was clear, yes.
Could climb on
I
walls.
look at Urgle. I say, can you climb from the ceiling and try and yank him out that way?
most certainly could.
Fisk looks to
Okay.
Ptarmigan.
With the shadows.
That was a basement, I'm assuming there were. DM?
The whole thing's a shadow.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume there were. It's a basement. DM?
Yes.
There were shadows in the basement, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there were shadows in the basement. The druid needed it to. The druid is human. He needed to see. So yes, there were shadows in the basement.
Okay.
Someone
Okay,
might have
so-
to take that druid out before we can actually free him. Kind of like the last time.
Let's draw the druids out and try and kill them out of the basement first. Then we'll figure out what to do. If that tree comes to life, we'll deal with it. But for now, let's just get them out and kill them.
All right.
We use Irwin. I nod to him. I say, no offense, but he can take more than we can. You
I'll do
piss
it.
them off and get them up the stairs. And yeah, let's all move someplace where we can get at him. Let me look at the map. Whoop. I'm going to move down to the bottom floor, or the first floor, not the basement, if that's okay.
Let me move here. Yeah. Oh boy, it's laggy.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'll follow him down.
I'm like, time to set a big ambush, boys.
All right, I'm
And
Is
we're
everybody
all-
moving downstairs then?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, we're
coming
gonna move
down.
yeah.
downstairs. At least for now.
Okay.
We might
I
we
do
may
have
put somebody
some-
on the balcony.
I do have some
There we
some
go.
fire abilities right now.
Okay. All right.
I can. The only thing I have left is cantrips, and I can cast a 15 radius cone of magical darkness.
When
Alright.
says, so, I will go this way and distract the druid and try to draw him out up the spiral staircase.
All right. I
Are you
look
going
at,
through? Are you going through the glass shop, the glass blowing shop, or are you going through the other staircase?
we're gonna stay up here. We're gonna let him bring these guys upstairs to us.
All right.
And
If that doesn't work out, might end up having to charge in.
my token's kind of going wherever the hell it wants to. I'm trying to move it, and it's being silly, just so you know.
Erwin holds the two butcher's knife in preparation.
And I'm going to stand here. I say, hey, somebody flank up on the other side of this door for me.
I'm like outside.
Yeah, me too.
You're
I can
out.
get-
Oh, you want to face it? You want to face it outside, or you want to do it in this room right here?
I'm cool with wherever. I just wasn't sure like where this was
Okay.
happening.
Yeah, if we're in this room right here. Yeah, you can flank on the other side of me, and anybody that can shoot ranged, get behind the barrel or on the balcony. Stay your distance and just start pinging this guy as soon as he comes through the door.
Oh, there's a
Ergel and I
balcony.
will. There's a balcony above us. You could get on the far side of the balcony probably and get a clear shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up as well and just get out of harm's way, and just shoot cantrips.
Yeah, I'm like Zareen, stay clear.
He's coming through the top or the bottom.
See where Ergel and I are? He should be coming through that door.
Okay.
Okay, so am I on the balcony, like up here with these barrels? Am I on a balcony right now?
You can be.
Yeah, you can be.
Right. I'm asking like where I'm at right now, DM. Am I on a balcony looking towards the door where they're at?
Right now you're not on the balcony. Right now you're on the bottom floor. You can get on the balcony if you wish.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the balcony. I can't get on
Yeah,
there.
me too.
Okay, sorry
can
guys, this isn't Foundry. I'll move you to the balcony.
It's either that, or if you could move them where they would be on the balcony, but on this floor, so they have the right vision.
There we
Unless
go.
you want to use the observer vision.
Using the observer, you should be able to
There
see.
you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, using the observer, you should be able to see into the first floor too.
There we go. So yeah, pull that to maybe there. Does that work?
Alrighty, Erwin is sweating, and you can see the focus in his eyes as he is muttering to himself, nervously clenching and unclenching his hands on the pairs of butcher's knives he's holding. He's waiting on your signal, Talmadgen.
I nod to him. Well, go ahead.
Is there anything that we could bestow upon him to give him some help of some way or the other?
I have nothing.
Erwin snaps out of his concentration. I should be fine. As long as they don't have silver, they can't actually put me down. Doesn't mean I can't feel pain, but Elvir has been there for long enough.
Good luck.
And to you, he gives you a pained smile. You can see he's not looking forward to it, but he's determined to save his
Scream for help if they don't follow you and you get stuck down there.
life. I'll do that. Waiting on your signal, Mr. Talmadgen.
Look at everybody go. Ready, everyone? If I don't hear anything.
DM, just to clarify really quick, when I'm up here on the balcony, there's no way I can see that door, right?
Which door? Sorry.
The one that Urgel's standing by, because it's under the balcony and then behind this barrel.
Well, yes. Well, no, because it's behind the barrel. Yeah, the bulk of the barrel is hiding the door from you.
All right, I'm gonna go back downstairs then. I
Okay,
can't see nothing from up here where they're coming.
Can't either.
Okay, then I'll move both you guys downstairs then.
Yeah, I'm just hiding behind the barrel.
Alrighty.
Fisk has got his spear up and just waiting.
Alrighty. Erwin nods Talmadgen and begins to chop on the vines. He takes a few swings, then he makes his way to the basement.
And we wait.
Elvir! Elvir! Lord! Alrighty. You guys hear the sound of footsteps rushing up the staircase. You guys can see Erwin, a spear of wood sticking through his belly. And you guys can see him like kind of rising and rising through the stairway. And you realize he's not actually moving on his own legs. He's being held aloft as he's impaled from the back on the extended wooden limb of this creature. The creature flicks him aside, almost at you, and I need you to roll me a dexterity save, Fisk, as Erwin goes flying at you.
Roll out of the way, and as I do, I toss my spear at him.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll me initiative, everybody.
DM, am I still under the effect of the poison? I don't know how the time is on that or not.
Roll me Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty.
Actually, it's been 2 hours, so roll me another one. I am so sorry, Tom and Jim.
Don't worry. That's all right. Just checking.
Yeah,
Wanted to make sure.
unfortunately, you're still going to be under the effect of it.
And sorry to be this guy. My Discord was glitching. He's attacking Fisk.
He threw Erwin basically Erwin managed to draw one of them up that you can see, and he threw Erwin at Fisk. Yes.
Oh, he physically threw him at him.
Yeah,
He
like basically
stabbed
like
him on a spear.
yeah, he stabbed him on a spear.
Do we know if he's dead?
You haven't had the chance to, but it doesn't seem to be from the sound of him screaming in pain.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well,
That
I just meant like
that came off a lot more sassy than I intended. No, sorry.
no, it makes sense. I was just trying to see like was he like speared through the neck or like
He was like speared through the belly and like
Okay.
basically carried aloft up the stairs as he was trying to run away, and
Does he seem unhappy?
he could be happier. He could do with the drink, honestly. And honestly, so could I.
So I rolled for that spear attack as I rolled
Yeah,
out
go
of the
ahead.
way.
Yeah, because you had a ready to action, so go ahead. My roll 20's just stuck at the moment, so I'm just waiting for it to refresh.
And I rolled a natural 20 on my initiative
Beautiful.
for a 25. So for some reason it didn't register that.
I love when I like have a good initiative roll. Everyone else has a great one.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
You said you had a natural 20 coming right up.
Yep. So it was a 25.
25. This guy's shit is still loading, so I'm just going to roll it. Luckily, I remember what he had, so that's 15 plus 3. It's going to be 18. Okay. Fisk. That was 27 on the Spear of Beast. The Spear of Beast goes flying, spearing him, and that's 13. That should be piercing damage, but no big deal.
Yep.
Certainly did not like that. Okay. Anything else, Fisk?
So now it's my turn at the top of the initiative.
Yes.
I'm gonna run toward him after the spear and grab a hold of it, yank it out, spin it around, and attack him twice.
Go ahead. You see him grinning awfully. Alright, 25, that hits. $19, that hits as well. Alrighty.
And then
Each blow
for a
of the Spear
bonus
of
action,
Beasts splinters more and more wood and cope spots off of him.
and for bonus action, I'm gonna sweep low and punch him right in the kneecap.
Alrighty.
Nope.
His kneecap is thoroughly punched. Also, I found out for these guys, if you guys want to see it.
The 10 hits.
Oh, that didn't load for me. No, a 10 does not hit.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
moves it out of the way just in time. All right. I'm gonna move slightly out of the way, right here, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, honor him.
All right. Is this door here? Is that open?
Yes, it seems to be open.
All right. So I would have seen Fisk through the door take off and throw his weapon. So my character would assume it's on. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna target him with a firebolt.
Alright, go ahead. That hits. That hits.
So 11 damage, fire damage. Does he seem to like that very much?
11 damage. Alrighty. He staggers a little bit as the fire splashes across his chest.
And I'll move back into the other room. He's coming up the stairs.
Good.
That's the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Varys.
Okay, so Varys is see, he's pretty far away from the action, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to do much, but he can see all the action and he can hear all the ruckus, so he is going to move. Well, I assume, assuming I understand how this map works, I'm going to move. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to move. Can I be on the same square as Zyrene, or do I have to be behind her?
You cannot occupy the same space as another character. You can move through it, but you can't occupy the same space.
What about on this space right here, on this corner of this circular
Yeah,
thing?
you can. You're a little bit tight because you're sharing. Because you kind of have to push your back against the barrel. But yeah.
Okay, then that's all I've got. Wait.
But you can hold your action at that point. You know that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'll hold my. Yeah, I'll hold it. I'll hold my action.
Or you can use your action to dash and get to where you want to be.
So I think that seeing Honorim running back out and then running back, I'm assuming that it's probably right out there. So I'm just gonna hold my action. So if I see anything come through the door, I'll light it up.
Alrighty, no problem. Anything else, Varys?
That's it.
Okay, Serene.
Okay, not having any real power left, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I'll go here for 20. I can't really get a clear shot in, so remembering that Urgle got stuck on the ceiling and couldn't get down, and the few times that he seems to have lost his mind, I'm gonna try to cast guidance on him. I don't know how much that's gonna help in combat, but it will. If he gets stuck or he starts losing his mind again, he'll get a little bit of extra help.
All right.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna smack him and say, All right, brother. You go. Or no, sorry, that was Tom. Tomas. Okay, go get him, and then back up another 10 feet, and that'll end my turn.
Use my reaction to flinch.
Yeah, Tomas was a bro. Zareen, not so much. that'll end my turn.
Alrighty. No problem. Anything else, Zareen?
Nope, that's it. And that's a concentration symbol, right? I should know this by now.
I think so, yes.
Yep.
It is.
Yes, that's it.
Whew. Alrighty. And that brings us to this handsome fella. Alrighty. You can see him throughout Fisk's attack. I can definitely see that they have left damage on him as there's these massive injuries from where the Spear of Beasts assaulted him. However, the corpsey grin does not diminish. You see him, like the hand transform from the wood shortens from his spear into a massive, cruel maul with spikes on it. It lets out a sort of ululation. And it's going to swing recklessly on Fisk. Fisk, you take 18 plus. Ooh, it told the maximum. It told it 12 on its d12, so that's 18 plus 3. Fisk.
Cool.
With his maul. Alrighty. Urgal.
All right. Popping out into the doorway here. I can't seem to get through.
Let me do that. Oh, well, that one is closed, but I'll say you bust it open. Fisk, you can see, now that you're close to it, Fisk, you can see that there are spikes growing all over its body.
I don't like the look of this guy.
Alrighty. Urgal, you kick the door. At least you pull it open because it's a door that opens inward, so kicking it wouldn't do much. What would you like to do, Urgal?
Trying to come through that doorway, raging, and trade maul blows with this guy. Six, 14. That's the rage. Forgot to turn back on.
So that's 26. 14, unfortunately, does not hit its AC.
All right, that should be
Smash.
16.
Yeah, you smash it. It is now bloodied, actually.
Oh wow, very nice.
Alrighty.
That's it.
Anything else, Urgal? That's it, you said? Okay. Tom.
All right. Can I get to? Why is my token doing that? Can I get to where I can hit him? Where I can hit this thing?
Fortunately, Urgal is currently occupying that space.
Ah, fuck.
Right. Maybe shoot from the doorway.
I'm trying to move my token back, but it just won't move. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Really? Come on now. Okay. There we go. We'll see. From there, I'm going to use one of those exploding darts. That's a miss. So I'm going to end my turn there in the case this thing comes through that door.
Alrighty. Okay. So unfortunately, 13 is not gonna hit its AC.
No.
Yeah. Anything else, Tom?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. In that case, Fisk, you're up.
Take the blow across the chin from the mole. And I look back up at him. I take the spear in both hands. And who here's seen 300?
I did. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That moment in the shadows when the spear just goes.
If I may tell a side story, my friend's parents got very mad at him for watching it because they were afraid it would make him gay.
Really?
Yeah.
Gay? What? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. He was raised in the Middle East.
Ah.
Alrighty, let me see. That suddenly hits. That's an 8. Whack.
The second attack, I'm just going to take the spear and just rotate it really sharp.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, he blocks it with his maul.
Dang.
And for a bonus action, I'm going to rush up the spear and try and catch him in the throat with my fist.
Okay. You fit like he leans backward, avoiding your fist. Although the spikes that grow on his body almost graze your fist as well. Anything else, Fisk?
No, that's my turn.
Honorin.
Back in the hallway. Well, targets it again and again try and hit it with the flaming bolts. Firebolts. No luck.
Unfortunate. Alrighty. Anything
Move
else on
over.
him?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Varys.
Okay, so if I'm gonna move one. I'm gonna move to right here. Can I see at that angle through that door? Do I have a shot or no?
If your token can see him, then you can see him. Yep, it looks like you can see at least 2/3 of him, so I'll say yes.
Okay. Also, this is the first time that Varys has seen it, and out of character, I can't tell. Maybe it's my resolution. I can't tell what this token is. So, can you just give Varys a description of what he's seeing?
Take a look in
Sorry.
Quest channel. There's
Yeah,
a
you can take a
picture.
look in Quest channel. There's a picture.
Oh. Okay. Question. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's not like a wood. It's not a wood. Okay, if that's the case,
It
Varys
is like a wooden creature. Like you can. It looks like almost like a corpse that had like wooden bark grown on top of it.
But he has a is it like a fleshy chest type of thing?
It seems to be. It seems to be an amalgamation of both. Like someone mixed druidic art and necromancy together to create
Okay.
this horrific creature.
Okay. I am going to just launch. I'm going to shoot him with an arrow.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm over here.
Nice shot.
Nice shot. It sticks right in his chest.
Okay, and then I'll do it again.
Fortunately, the second one is blocked by his maul.
Damn. Okay, and then with that, what I'm going to do is that was 5, that was 10 feet of movement. So I will move back 10 feet back to here, and that will end my turn.
Alrighty. Anything else, Vaz?
That's it. Thank you.
Zoreen.
All right. 5, 10, a free action. That's a door, right? I can open that with a free action.
I think it's still open. Everybody's been going in and through it.
Yeah, it's open.
Oh, okay, yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20. Is he still alive, or is he like bled out?
Sorry, Zoreen, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, I'm just seeing if he's bled out by now, or is he still moving around on the ground?
Erwin seems to like what. As you observe him, you can see that his flesh is already beginning to heal.
And he still has a spear in him?
No, he was impaled on the elongated spear-like
Right.
limb of the creature.
Sorry about that. Okay. Well, then, seeing that he's okay, I'm going to look up and do the old cantrip. And hope that this does max damage, so it does something.
Not bad.
Alright, its ray of frost strikes the figure in the chest. It seems slow. As the frost spreads to its limbs. Alright, anything else, Zoreen?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to push the talk. Yeah, I'm gonna after casting the cone, the ray of frost, she's just cursing under her breath. I'm gonna back up 10 feet and end my turn.
Okay. Alrighty. The creature turns to Urgal. Its disturbing grin still upon its face. It swings its wooden maul once again. The spikes coming to meet your midsection. 15.
Wow.
You block it.
Whew.
Alrighty.
He rolled the same damage as the last time, too.
Yes, he did. He rolled another D12 on his D12. Unfortunately for you, girl, that does not hit you. Go ahead.
Responding cunt will bring the first strike down on top of his domed head. As we shake it off with his horns. I got a 17.
17 is going to hit it.
Fantastic. And then I'll pull it back out and sideways, kind of uppercutting him with it for the second. Which is 27.
27.
Both
Oh
of
my
them
gosh.
15 damage.
All right.
attacks.
As you bring your maul on him against him, he brings up his own maul to block the blow, but your maul splinters his, crushing the skull, caving it inside, blowing apart the corpse and the wooden covering of it, and that will be the end of combat.
I'm kind of inclined to like rush in now.
Ptarmigan is gonna send Parvis back down to the basement.
Okay. Parvis is sent back down to the basement.
He's gonna eyeball in.
Yeah, you see another of these warriors in a ready position with the druid behind him, ready to back him up over here. You can also see the massive stains of wine that's been spilled onto the floor. And where even holes have been dug into the walls in an attempt to find the wizard's heart.
All right, I'm gonna have Parvis just literally freeze in place, and I sit there and go, another one of these things, and a druid are waiting for us. They're ready. I think we'll walk into a hailstorm of hell if we walk down there directly.
Parvis can see that the wizard, the druid, is like standing next to a door, so it doesn't, it's possible for you guys to catch him off guard if you went through the glass workshop. It's hard to tell sometimes if the doors are obvious here or not. I know
Yeah,
that
that
Ben was
one's
having
kinda-
trouble. I know Ben was having trouble with him.
Yeah, I'm going to creep up.
Yeah.
Where? Yeah, because I can't see another door at all, no matter where I go.
Hold on, let me shrink it down. Do you not? Do
Yeah.
you see a white square right next to the druid?
Oh, okay. I see it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
there-
right next to him. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Could charge in the front while the rest of you enter elsewhere.
Is there a way to get a range sneak attack on him or anything that you can see?
Well, okay. It took us a couple of tries to get this wood-headed guy. All right. He's not going to go down instantly. I don't know about the druid, but the last one didn't die easy either. I don't know how much we can stand up to directly. We're gonna have to mad rush this thing.
Is there anything down there that looks like that last thing that screamed at us and knocked me on my ass, and Fisk, for that matter?
No, it's another one of these things that just about killed Fisk just now.
Okay.
Well, I'll handle it.
I'm still working my jaw back and forth.
I look at Urgle and Fisk and I say, just a point to note, it doesn't help if you fight him in the hallway and nobody else can shoot him. We were trying to draw him out. We need to draw him out into the open. I don't know if we can do that a second time.
Sorry, I tried. I
Uh,
got scared.
I said, you did fine. Urgle blocked my shot. I'm grumpy at him.
Yes,
Erwin,
but I also killed it without even getting hurt.
Erwin rubs his belly where, like you guys can see, there's no remaining wound even left anymore.
All right. I say, all right, I'm gonna go in through the glass shop. Does anybody want to back me up?
Yeah.
All right. So, if you'll, I'm
Me
gonna
and
go
Erwin
into where.
take point.
All right. You and Erwin take point. Me and whoever else go to the glass shop, and I'm gonna make my way there.
Anonymous, you open the door to the glass shop. And Honorim, being that your intelligence is alright, from the three of you, what's your intelligence scores? Hit me. As we're
I
entering the
am,
glass shops.
I'm 16.
16. All right. Ah, damn it, Ben. Sorry.
14.
20.
Alrighty. Have a good night, Ben.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Sorry. I'll watch
okay.
and let me know how it goes. Good luck.
Alrighty.
Oh shit. See you later.
Okay. You guys remember hearing about the Wizards of Wines before
Mm-hmm.
in connotation for Madame Eva.
Okay.
Alright. That's the only hint I'll give you guys. Not because you guys have high intelligence scores. As you enter the glass blowing shop, you see a large barrel filled with sand, various glass blowing tools, bottles on the walls, ready for labeling and filling, and the staircase going down.
I'm sorry, DM, one more time. What was that
Madam
hint that you gave us?
Ava?
Madam Ava.
Madame Eva mentioned the Wizard of Wines and the connotation of sand before. Just a little hint because, you know, like you're walking in, you see a barrel
Gotcha.
of sand.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
That would be there. Scroll in. Oh. Flash of realization crosses Tarmagin's face. And he looks at Honorim. And he goes, that barrel of sand. That contained the heart, I bet. It is wood. It is sand. That is where the treasure lies. That was one of our cards. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and go downstairs. Get ready.
All right, Tom and Jen, you heading downstairs?
Yes.
All right.
Snake move.
Same.
Erwin. Okay. Erwin will also prepare himself for a go. Gonna move the corpse of the green berserker. Fisk, are you going downstairs as well?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to move the observer over here so I can drag
Mhm.
everybody who's going downstairs. 2.
Just following Erwin's lead. Figure he'll tell me when to stop.
Oop.
There we go.
One second.
I'm going with you, Urgle. So I'm just right behind you wherever you're going. You can't see anymore.
All right.
Okay, in that case, I'm just going to move Varys a little bit. Let me go grab Varys. Sorry.
There we go.
Wait up, Urgle.
And Zareen will bring up the back of Honorim.
Melee and range split up.
Okay.
Okay. Tarmagin's faces and kind of links up with Parvis so that I can see where Erwin is. And as soon as he rounds that corner, I'm going to open that door and step through it and push past him with disengage, just so you know.
Okay, the door opens outside. You can see that if you try to open the door, it would be blocked by the droid. However, you could try to roll me an athletics check to open it with enough force to both push the droid and hurt him.
Absolutely. So as soon as okay, but I'm timing it when Erwin's rounding the corner. Just so okay.
You see Erwin,
Sorry.
or you next to Erwin, here, pair.
Just gets hit with a door. That's mildly important.
Let's hotline Miami this shit. Mother of Ravens. Hear my prayer. Keep us from defilement. Keep us from treachery. Keep us from darkness. May your wings enfold us all. Woo! And Erwin rushes around the corner, and Damagen, go ahead and give me that athletics check.
Oh, I did. And the door just basically bashed me right back in the face.
Yeah, unfortunately, you try to kick the door open. You hear as it kind of smacks into the door, but it does not move out of the way. And I'd like initiatives from everyone, please.
Ah.
Kai Havoc.
Nice.
All right.
Okay. Oh my god, roll 20's being slow. Man, this reminds me of like last year. Like there was also a period where it was really slow. Don't know what's going on with it.
Good.
Okay. And since that's happening, let me see. Where are you? Oh yeah, big fat bastard.
And Zareen.
Oh, Zorin, right.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about Zorin. I was talking about
There you were.
Wow. All right. Caught on tape. Good.
Caught on tape. Ratioed. Let me see. Okay. There he is. Come on. But his sheet's not gonna open for me. Of course. That's typical.
Oh. Okay.
Alrighty. And with that, I don't think it went on the initiative. No, it did not.
No, it did not.
But that was 19, so that's what it gets. Pretty high roll for it, but. And I believe that's everybody. Fisk, you're first. Unfortunately, the door is currently not open. However, I'd say you could probably reach past Damagen to try to open it with your own athletics check. Try to kick it open.
So I'll push over to him, and as I do, I'll say,
We'll take that healing potion now.
and I'll use my action to try to open the door.
As you try to open the door, there seems to be something blocking it from the other side. You feel the presence of a fleshy body.
Then I will. God, this is gonna go shitty. I'll try to open it.
Okay, you try to open it, but there is something in the way. You could try to roll me athletics to try to shove the door. Okay. You try to shove the door open, but unfortunately you are unable to. The droid is
Nope.
holding the door back, realizing now that people are trying to enter.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds while I look at my sheet. I want to see something.
Any luck, Fisk?
Yeah. Okay. I am going to spend 2 key points.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look at Tarmage and say,
They're right on the other side of the door. All of them.
"You frozen,
I'm here.
Tarm?"
You
Yeah.
said,
I'm asking, are they all on the other side of the door?
oh, you're asking. Yes. They're right there.
Then I'm gonna cast darkness 10 feet beyond the door.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so 10 feet beyond the door, straight out.
Yep.
Okay, that's going to be quite the area. I believe I believe darkness is about 15 feet. No, it's 20 feet.
It's 20 feet. So I don't want the darkness to encompass us. So I want to push it out far enough so that we are at the edge of the darkness.
Can you just ping darkness for me there?
Yep. Give me 2 seconds. Do.
Point you choose within range. 15. Okay.
15 foot, so 15 feet beyond the door.
15 feet beyond the door, and right,
Maybe
that
10
is
10 feet to the left.
yeah, 10 feet to the left. Okay, 10 feet to the left and 15 feet is going to be basically enough. Alrighty. It's going to cover both the druid and the druid's companion. They are both swallowed up in darkness.
So I go back to Tarmage and say,
We may have stalled them for a bit.
and I hold my hand out for the healing potion. And that ends my turn.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Let's see now. Being surrounded by darkness, the druid is going to. God. I just sneezed really hard and pulled my back.
Oh no.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. Oh, man. Okay. The druid is going to cast a spell.
Of course.
You guys can't. You guys don't know what, and you guys can see what happens. As far as you guys are concerned, there's just a big ball of darkness there. Olga.
Do I hear him casting it?
Give me, Honorim, what's your passive perception?
23.
23? Then yes, you do hear him casting.
Oh, sorry,
Give me an
21.
Arcana check.
21.
21. Still, you could give me an Arcana check to tell what it is.
12.
Unfortunate. Despite your massive arcane knowledge, Druidic magic is it's a bit strange to you. It has something to do with stones and movement, but you're not quite sure exactly if he's moving stones or what.
Oh, I don't think we're opening that door.
Alrighty, Urgal.
I'll step over and out to here. No. I'm gonna cast Shocking Hands. Would Shocking Hands go through a wooden door and like hit what's on the other side?
No, it would not.
Alright, then yeah, I'm just gonna fill the hallway with lightning in that case. Wow. Underwhelming damage.
Alrighty, that's 2 and 6. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alrighty, you'll have to roll. And it's gonna be a dexterity check. Save. Sorry, it's gonna be an 8. I don't know why he rolled with advantage. It's gonna be an 8. Alright, that hits him.
What hit him?
Shocking Hands.
Shocking hand.
Put a Shocking Hands like directly into this hallway trying to hit both of them.
Alrighty, anything else?
Can't tell. I guess I'll just go into a Blood Rage. I guess it would have dropped between combat, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And end it there.
Okay, this thing is going to do something that you guys cannot see. Zareen is going to hold her turn until she can see an issue. She's going to cast guidance on Fisk, actually. And
That's what she would do.
Erwin is going to brandish his 2 butchering knives and just shout. And which reminds me, I need to buy butcher's knife. You can see as he makes massive swings with it. Oh my god, slow. Okay, he actually hits the first time, slashing a large groove through this thing. You'll then look around, look behind him, realize Varys is still yet to come, and you'll actually take a chance and try to move past Urgal, as this thing is going to take an attack of opportunity on him. In the meantime, Monorim. It catches him in the back, but Erwin manages to still run past Urgal. Blood
Take a
goes
beating.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, honor him. Go ahead. Is there anything you think you'd like to do?
Oh, boy. Well, play it safe. All right, I'm going to go back upstairs. I'm going to dash.
All right. I'll move. Yes, that's 5, 10 on Zorine. Now putting you here. If you're dashing, you'll have 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, because the barrels are considered difficult terrain.
Can I not move diagonally? I guess it's still, yeah, okay.
They're still like not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, honor him. And Tomjin.
All right. I'm gonna play musical doorway with Fisk, like he did, and I'm gonna try and bash that door open.
All right, give me an athletics check. Unfortunate.
And I'm gonna
Pain
hand
of
Fisk
being
that
attacked.
potion. Yeah, that's it. Just gonna hand Fisk that potion. That's it. I'm done.
Alrighty, Varys, go ahead.
Okay, so Varys will move up the stairs here. Oh, okay. So I see one of these guys again. Okay, so I'm going to use my actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my war magic to use I'm going to first hit him with firebolt.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. And then I'm assuming that hits. And then I'll take one shot with my arrow.
Alrighty, go ahead.
Oh, there's 16. And I'm going to or Varys is going to son of a bitch. So the spot right behind him, like I would be in darkness if I was on that side of him, correct? If I
Okay.
ran past him, well, first of all, if I ran past him and went to that left spot, number one, would I be in darkness? And number two, would he get an attack of opportunity? Or is that just...
You would not, because his attack. Well, you see him kind of still recovering from the swing he took at Erwin.
And then, so... But would I be in that darkness, like, if I was right to his west?
You can't pass through him. Like you could try like going through the
Okay.
darkness and see if you could stand there. Yes. But yes, you would be if you're in the like. Yes, this is darkness. This is darkness territory. All of this is darkness territory.
Okay. Okay, if that's the case, then I'm going to I'm just going to yell at Urgle and say, "Let's get this motherfucker."
All right. Anything else, Ferris?
That's it.
Okay. In which case, this handsome fella is going to move forward towards you, Varys, having been just the. It does not seem to appreciate having fire put on him, no arrows. And so you see him transform his right arm into a massive maul as he tries to cave your head in with it. 19, does that hit you, Varys? I believe it does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So that's 12.
12. 12 bludgeoning damage. You see it now also go spikes all over its body. Fisk.
I'm gonna look to Zareen and Armagen, and
We need to get to the others.
and then bonus action, I'm gonna down the potion.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
That's 4d4 plus 4.
For medium, I'm not sure.
What is that, DM?
2d4 plus 2.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a medium potion.
For a medium potion.
Oh, if it was medium, it's a 44 plus 4.
Come on, roll 20.
There we are.
Okay.
Alright, you get 12. Anything else, Fisk?
Yes. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
run back up the stairs. And start making my way back towards the other door. Where the
Okay.
others are. Second
problem.
floor.
No problemo. So, just have to pass by Starine. That's double movement. And there you are.
10.
Yeah, just a reminder that passing through the barrel, squeezing past these guys, like,
10.
this whole area is basically difficult terrain.
Yeah.
So 10, 15. 20. 5. 30. 30. 40. 45. Use my action to dash. 10, 15. 20. 25. 30. 40. 45.
Hey, where are you going?
And I use feline agility to get the rest of the way down.
He runs all the way around the house to come in the other door and punch somebody.
We have the Flash with a magical weapon.
Shoo, pop.
Then he's gonna do 2 spear throws and then a sweep attack.
Yeah.
After all that.
God,
Okay.
ridiculously
else, Chris?
cool.
Do you have enough
sorry.
movement to go downstairs, actually?
Yes, I do. I have another
Ah.
45 feet.
Sorry. Something is really weird with the connection tonight. It feels like you guys are coming from an ocean away. Alrighty.
So 10.
There we go.
Okay. See everybody. So that's 10. Oh, hello. He's right there. Okay.
He's right there.
So I kind of skid to a stop at the bottom of the stairs, and that ends my turn.
Alrighty. Which brings us this handsome fella, erupting from the rock of the stairs between Zareen and Tarmagen.
Oh boy.
Let me see. You will be detritus for the rot heart to feed upon. He will extend his roots throughout the ground, and he will find and feed upon the wizard's heart. And we shall ascend to the glory of the Lord. Ah! And then he's going to cast Erupting Earth, centered on himself. Since he's trying to get both Damjin and Zareen. Damjin and Zareen, I'd like you both to give me a dexterity saving throw, please. I'll roll for Zareen since Ben's not here. Oh god, I know that pain, Damjin, when you have like +7 to a thing and then you fail it anyways.
Well, that's all right. I'm going to be evading it for half damage at least.
Alrighty.
And then
And let me see. Erupting Earth. What's that? Alrighty, so it's going to be 24 points of damage, halved for both Zareen. Zareen, that's meets beats.
And does that stack with uncanny dodge?
Aren't they both reactions?
That's a reaction. Yeah, I think you're right. Let me make sure.
I don't think evasion is. I think
Evasion is not a
evasion's-
reaction. Evasion is
Just a
just a thing by itself. Here, hold on.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
Evasion area effect. So yeah, evasion will go into it. So since you fail, you only take half, and then what was the other thing? Uncanny dodge. You
Uncanny
ping
dodge,
because
which
that's all.
that halves it as well. So yeah, so that drops it to 6 for me.
All right, very nice.
Whew. I just kind of stops and laughs at him and goes, "Oh, you think so?"
Ah, detritus. And that's his turn. Urgal, you up?
Ugh. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna give him the old 1-2.
Is that with advantage because of the flanking?
Wow.
Ow!
Oh,
How did that happen?
Are you attacking the guy below you, or
I was, yeah.
is that a flank because I'm right next to him?
Oh, that's 2 1s. Unfortunately, no, it's not a flank. A flank you need to be able to draw.
180.
Yeah,
I feel like I have to drop it with a
Oh,
double
no.
1.
double.
Wow.
He blocks both of your maul attacks with a cool grin.
The odds of you rolling that many ones in a year
Yep.
is insanely low.
It seems fair though, because when I hit like a truck. So.
True. Yeah.
Oh wait, that was not what I meant to do. Elemental fear. Whoops. Charge up that aura and zap him and move on.
Alrighty. Sorry, my ultimate just cast. Let me just refresh real quickly. Okay, there we go. And you were using your elemental fury. Beautiful. Let me see. And then Zareen is going to. That's an 11. I don't think that. Yeah, so the lightning hits him. Zareen is going to shriek for a moment. But not as loudly as the other thing. And let me see what spells she got. Shocking Grass. Perfect. 17. She zaps him. He does not like it. Okay. For his part, Erwin is going to now flank with Varys, and he's going to go into. Use his butcher's knife once. That's some 22, and that's a crit. Alrighty, very nice. Owen manages to embed one of his butcher's knives into the back of this thing. And that's 8 and 8. He screams, "Stay away from my family!" And in fact, he's just into bloody territory. Okay, honor him.
Heading downstairs.
Heading downstairs. I'll get you there. I feel so bad. Honor him. You are beyond Fisk.
I will pass him in the hallway.
It seems that the Leshy Berserker is blocking the way. And unfortunately, with the tight hallway with Varys and Fisk, there's not much you can do.
Okay, so I'm behind Fisk then? I don't make it around the corner?
Unfortunately, because
Okay.
Well, you can like kind of peek around Fisk and Varys to see it, I think, but that's pretty much it.
Sucks down there.
Yeah, they really tried to use the space to their advantage. Anything else on him?
And we 10 rounds. I reach out, put my hand on Fisk's shoulder, and he disappears.
Oh, is that on yourself or somebody else?
It's on Fisk.
Alrighty, Fisk, you go completely invisible.
Go get the druid.
You hear a very low purr.
Alrighty. Oh man, good invisibility is such a cool spell.
All right.
Tom Jim.
Be on
Yes.
the left of those.
This guy is attacking.
Taking just solid stride up, drawing a silver rapier with green flame blade cast. Let's do it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So many ones tonight.
And just a heads up to everybody: anyone should be able to drag an observer.
Yeah.
But let me put one down.
Oh
there.
yeah.
I've been letting either you or Kevin do that for the stream purposes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it. I haven't really messed with it tonight though.
Yeah, I think it.
Mostly we've been like getting into new areas, so I'm like more afraid to touch it at that point. I don't want to like reveal
Yeah.
too much to myself, you know.
All right. The only other thing I'm going to do is going to step back to the bottom of the stairs with disengage, and I'm
Okay.
done for that.
Alrighty. Varys.
So is Firebolt, is that considered a range? Would I get disadvantage because of range, or is
Yes.
Firebolt just
Yes,
a way?
currently your ranged attacks are all at disadvantage because there is a melee opponent next to you.
Okay, if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is Varys is gonna, you don't see it very often, but he's gonna whip out his scimitar from the side of his belt, and he's gonna take a couple slashes at this motherfucker.
You got yield holy mace as well.
The holy mace isn't. It's better for other things.
Fair enough.
Because I have to use charges for some of that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And I'm out.
we're not
All
done
right.
yet.
Oh, actually, I take that back. Hold on a second. This is for the DM. Does the mace recharge after a short rest, or
I believe the master charges at dawn.
Yeah, that's a once a day.
Okay, yeah, so I'm out. All right, you're right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to hit this thing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you guys enter the winery at 4 p.m. and I'd say right now, after waiting, it's about probably 7 p.m.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hit it with my scimitar.
All right, go ahead. Oh, that's critical. Nice.
It's like wide
that-
range of rolls.
So is that 18 point? Does it double the damage on the crit?
No,
how it
that's a
works?
9.
Okay, so the crit doesn't really.
No, the crit doubles the dice.
Yeah, the crit doubles
So
the
you
dice.
roll 2 dice instead of 1.
Yeah, just got
So
unlucky.
instead
with
of
the
just doing
second
8
dice.
damage, you did
Got
plus
it.
1.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's already built in. All right,
Yeah,
then I'm gonna hit him again with the same
All right,
thing.
go ahead.
Nice.
20 and 8. Very nicely done. More and
Okay.
more slashes occurring on him.
Okay,
One
and then
more damage than Irwin.
with that, um, um, so none of the, and so honor him and couldn't get around all of us. Was that because of the guy in front of me, or
Yes.
can I bypass
No,
the
it's
stairs
because the guy in front of you.
so I can take an attack of opportunity and try to get out of the way of everyone?
Well, that would allow Fisk to stand and attack where you are standing right now. If you went back up the stairs.
But with me staying there, then Fisk can't get past me either, just like
That's nice.
Okay, then I have to do it. So I'm going to try to move. Actually, what I'm going to try to do, I want to right here is what I really want.
Are you
So
trying to
could
do
I-
your face step thing?
No, I'm out of that. Actually, face step. Hold on. That might be a
I
short
think
rest.
you used it already, but like.
Hold on. No, yeah. Thank you. After a short rest or a long rest, I get my face step back.
Oh, there you go. You have your
Nice.
face step back. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I need to look at my character sheet a little bit more in depth because I think I'm missing some stuff. Okay, so I am going to. All right, so I'm actually my current I am in spring. So my current phase step basically says you touch one willing within 5 feet of that creature, then tell it to serve you, appearing. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to use my face step and okay, well hold on. Tell me the rules here, DM, because it says spring, when you use your face step, you can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of you. Does that include myself?
Sorry, you cut out for a bit there for me.
Let me put this in the chat.
Yeah.
He can select himself for phase step, right?
Yeah, of course. You can touch one
Yeah,
willing
yeah,
creature
yeah.
within 5 feet of you. The
You're
creature
a
then
willing
teleports
creature, and you're within 5 feet.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to face step, and I'm going to face step to here. Actually, right up into this corner.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
All
'Cause
right.
that's my bonus action. So now I go back to 0.
Okay, no problem. Seeing as his nearest target is gone, it's going to turn towards Urgal and devote its loving attention towards you. The maul comes swinging, catching you square in the jaw, Urgal.
All right.
Alrighty, Fisk you up.
So I'm gonna move down the stairs, and because I can't see my head, but I can feel everything. Can you see yourself when you're invisible like this? It's weird.
Not about my short rest.
So, Fisk,
anyway,
yeah, I could barely.
No,
When you're invisible, can you see yourself?
I don't know. It's just a logistics thing. Maybe we'll come back to it.
Probably. I'm gonna say probably not.
I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna line up my shot on
Okay.
this guy as he's facing Urgal, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna put the spear right up into his armpit.
Oh, nice. Go for it. Oh God, that sounds extra painful.
It's right to the organ.
8. You misangle a little bit, but you managed to shove it in there. Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna quickly pull it out and slash across
Go for it.
near the kidney, and it happens.
That's 22. That's a 12. And as you slash near the kidney, your slash is a lot deeper than you think it would be. And you manage to slash his top half from his upper half. He falls forward.
Whew.
Stops moving.
Fuck yes.
Although
And Urgo and Erwin hear a disembodied voice.
Where's the druid?
I don't know. I can't see through all this darkness.
I drop it.
Okay, you drop the darkness. You
Oh boy.
do not see the druid.
Okay.
Let's find your brother.
I'm going to. What does the door look like that we were trying to get through?
It looks like a regular wooden door. Fake.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the door and try and yank it open.
All right. Now that there's nobody standing in front of it, you can yank it open just fine. You see Ptarmigan is currently facing up the stairs. He's focused on there.
Okay. Then,
I just look at him and go, nice of you to join us.
well, you just see a door open. You don't see anything else.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
exactly.
I'm like, what
There's
the
ghost here. Ah!
fucking Barovia.
All right, and then, yeah, okay. I'm gonna try and sneak by Ptarmigan just a little bit and see, just kind of poke my head around. Okay, and then I see him.
Yeah, you see the druid there.
So,
Madness boiling in his eyes.
$40. Okay. Before I do this, I'm gonna take a quick look around me. Are there any shadows within this area?
I'd say so, yeah. Especially since the sconce is casting shadows from the shelves and the support beams.
Okay.
Anything else, Fisk?
I'm gonna end my turn.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Here we go.
Fact the Tritus, you shall feed me now too. And he'll cast a spell. Small vines embed themselves in your feet, and I'd like a Constitution saving throw from both Zareen and Ptarmigan. Alright, Zareen succeeds.
Is this area of effect? Or, well, it doesn't.
This
let's
is
see.
an area of effect, yes, once again.
But I failed it, so that's half and then half again. But yeah. Or no, not half.
Yeah, it did not
Yeah,
roll-
half. Yeah, half. Yeah, half.
Yeah, it did not
So-
roll super well on that. And Zareen succeeds. That's half for her as well.
5. Ugh. 18.
Alrighty. You see some of his wounds close as bloom goes over his body. Your life force nourishes me as it will nourish the rot heart. Urgal.
Man, there's just a lot going on. First I'm gonna step up here and see if I see anything. Do I see this brother anywhere?
I believe Temujin mentioned that his brother was next to the massive creature in the other room.
Oh, there's one more room deep. Okay. Don't see any doors.
Well, it's you see a corridor over here.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Oh man, it's 10:50. We'll probably call it in about 10 minutes, gents.
Right.
Alrighty,
Alright.
anything else? Sorry, Urgal, you haven't taken your turn yet.
Just gonna progress down the hallway here.
Yeah.
See what I can make out.
And
But
you can
stop
see
at
like
the
the
edge.
floor covered in thorns and like this, and you feel like there's something massive lurking in the shadows.
I'm gonna crawl up the wall and onto the ceiling.
That's right, you have spider climb. Ah. Alrighty. Okay, you can now. I'll say that you can now move through that area as you wish.
I'm just gonna step just in. Well, no, you know what? I'm just gonna hold an action here. Basically charging up lightning in my palms in case anything steps into range. On the roof.
Alrighty. And with that, let's see. Thank you, Urgal. And with that, it's the Ratheart's turn. It's. Let me see. You're not close enough, so it can't really do much in that regard about you. Zareen is going to. Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! And she's going to cast Shocking Grasp. Unfortunate. Erwin is going to move in to help Zareen. Get away from her! And Butcher's Knife with advantage. Butcher's Knife. Oh, that's 14 damage overall. Alrighty. The druid shouts in pain as he's now bloodied. Erwin is then going to back out, letting Temujin make his room as the druid is going to swipe out with his staff. But misses. Alrighty, Honorim, your turn.
I guess I'll move down. I won't be able to move in there and then back out, so. Okay. And that'll be it.
Okay, Temujin.
All right. I close the gap, and I believe that that'll negate my disadvantage because it's flanking, won't it?
Disadvantage? Well, no, you have Zareen there.
Right. So then I'm at normal.
Yes.
All right. Green flame blade again on my silver rapier. I step up to him, slash my rapier upwards from below into his face.
Okay. He swings around and you smack your rapier into his face. However, it seems that, like, you're kind of unprepared for it. It seems that his face almost has a consistency of wood as you slam into it. He flinches for a moment, then the rat heart protects me already.
And the last thing is a smile at him and go, "Yeah, kill me. I know where the heart is." And then I back up to here.
Give me a deception check, Townsend.
Well, I think I know where it is.
Okay, in that case, that would have been a persuasion. Unfortunately, that's still a 3.
That's all right. That's all right.
Alright.
You don't have to believe me. I know.
Liar! I can smell the lies on your breath. You city roaches. With your silvery tongues and your soaps. Alrighty, Varys.
Okay, so Tarmogen is blocking the door. I'm assuming I can't. Correct. Is that what's going on?
Well, you can pass through your allies, so that would be 15, 20, 25. The main problem is that there's too many people in the way for you to get all the way through.
Okay. All right.
However,
So I'm
you
gonna
could
go.
go to where Urgal is gone.
I'm gonna go 5, 10, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to see past Urgal.
I'm on the ceiling.
Oh, you're on the ceiling?
Yep.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm gonna go right here. Oh, are those vines on the ground?
Those are thorns on the ground, yes, stony vines. It seems like passing through them would be painful.
Okay. Well, that isn't what I was hoping for. All right. Let's say. So that was my movement. I can't see anything in there. So, what I'm going to do is, but I need one more spot to hopefully see, maybe. So I can use an action to move a little bit 5 feet under Urgal. I'm just trying to figure out the mechanics here.
Yeah, you can make it to Urgal. Urgal, you cannot, like, you can pass through him, like he's on the ceiling right now, so.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that I've used all of my movement.
Okay.
But what I wanted to do was, or now what I want to do is I'm going to use an action surge. So, but I can't see anything. So I need to get that. So can I use my
That'd
action
be like 5
to
feet
move?
of a dash. That would be 5 feet of a dash action.
Yeah.
So technically, I think you can.
Yeah.
So if I move right here, okay, well, I still can't see shit. So, all right, well, then I've just completely wasted everything. All right, I'm going to end my turn. Oh, actually, I take that back. As a bonus action, I'm going to, because I had my short rest. As a bonus action, I'm going to use my second wind.
Okay.
To get some of my
hit points back.
Hit points. So I'm going to roll a 1d10.
Yeah, that'll be 1d10 plus your level, which level are you guys at? 7, I think?
Yep, so I get a
1d10
7.
plus 7. So 8 plus 7, very nice. 15.
And that'll end my turn.
Alrighty, this guy is dead. And I think now that we are starting a new round, this is probably a good stopping point since it is 11 feet. Alrighty, gentlemen, as you come upon the final treachery of the Wizards of Wine's winery, you rescued Erwin and you've rescued Adrian. And you've managed to send out a word of warning about the poison. You can only hope it will reach the proper ears in time. For now, we will end tonight's session of Curse of Slot.